To celebrate the 100th anniversary of the Battle of Vimy Ridge, the Lincoln and Welland Regiment Foundation is holding a public viewing of the restored Vimy Gun.
Today we're talking about the past, the present, and the future. The past is represented by the restoration of the Vimy Gun, which has taken about 8 years. A lot of citizens involved, both as donors, sponsors, workers, working kind, in order to put the gun back into the shape that you see it today. That's the past. Its short history has seen it in various locations. It's seen it at Vimy. It's seen it used as a war memorial at the village of Queenston. And now in the future, it will reside as basically the centerpiece to the new Niagara Military Heritage Center, which will be located on the old range grounds, just basically west of Niagara-on-the-Lake.
Now, Doug, you know a lot about this gun. What would you like to tell us about its story?
It was built in 1916 in Germany, and 1917 it was actually at the small town of Farbus, which is approximately a mile from Vimy Ridge. As everybody knows, artillery isn't on top of the battle. They stand back and lob their shells in. And this gun at the time, all of the opposing force had been routed from the area. And when the Canadians approached the gun, it was an abandoned gun. They had beaten off the enemy. And all the transportation that moved the gun, the mud was so thick that mechanical, they couldn't do it, and there was no horses available. So the enemy abandoned the gun, they left it. The Canadians took over the gun, and Canadians being very, very patriotic, they flipped the gun around 180 degrees and gave the enemy a taste of their own shells.
Now, it's been quite a process restoring this gun. I noticed so many people coming up that helped. How important were volunteers?
When we first took on this project several years ago, we figured that we would do it through private donation and do as much of it in-house as we could. And there was a lot of people, when they found out what we were doing, they just jumped at the chance to get on board with this gun. And we've really been helped out by a lot of companies. The storage of the gun, the movement of the gun, some of the parts, the paint for the gun, and the information on the gun. People have had fundraisers for the gun, and it's been a real joy working on this. We've really had a lot of fun.
Gary, how proud are you to have this gun here in our area?
Exceptionally proud. As I said, it will be taking front and center at the new Niagara Military Heritage Center, basically as our showpiece.
What are you looking at in terms of funding for that center?
Included in the $15 million cost, one is a 17,500 square foot display and artifact preservation and teaching center. The second is a building 10,000 square feet and will basically house a fleet of 48 military vehicles which have been restored. The third part is in relation to the past again. It's to preserve the last uninterpreted site from the Battle of 1812. It's a Canadian legacy project. It's not Niagara only. Our campaign, basically through the newspaper and through, of course, digital media, as well as social media, will throw across Canada.
The Vimy Gun will remain here at the Armory until the Niagara Military Heritage Center is complete. For more information on the Capital Campaign, visit the Foundation's website. In St. Catharines, I'm Brenda Schultz reporting for The Source.